With the referee dropping the puck at center ice to start the game, my defense partner Jason Mulridge decided to lose not only his mind, but much of his hockey equipment. Only 2 months had been passed since I'd been traded to play defense for the Red Deer Rebels. In that time, I'd learned to expect great hockey moves from Jason. I'd watched him stick handle while sliding on his knees. I'd admired the way he hip-checked guys from out of nowhere, and I'd been dazzled once to see him score with 2 guys wrapped around his shoulders. In my 25 games since joining the team in January, I'd learned to expect nearly anything from number 33. But nothing in those 25 games prepared me for the hockey move Jason was now making on the blue line beside me. The ref had his back to Jason and had just dropped the puck, and as I looked over to see if Jason was ready, he threw his gloves and stick high into the air. "Are you nuts?" I yelled to be heard above the screaming of 5,000 unfriendly fans. Is he pulling off his gloves to fight? But who does he want to fight? Jason didn't reply. His glove did, though. It landed on my helmet and bounced to the ice. The other glove thunked down beside Jason as his stick slid across the ice toward me. "Are you nuts?" I yelled again. The fans roared louder at Jason's actions. We were in Lethbridge to play the Hurricanes. Their crowd was always tough on us. We didn't need this to make it worse. Not when it was one of the most important games left in the season. Jason, he ignored me. He threw his helmet off, yanked his sweater over his head. It exposed his shoulder pads, the white skin of his thick arms, and a torn black t-shirt. And ahead of us, the 2 center icemen were fighting for control. The Hurricane center managed to kick the puck ahead. It slid. The puck slid towards Jason. Jason? He was still dancing on the blue line. It seemed to happen all at once. Jason threw his sweater toward me. It flew into my face like a blanket in the wind. I pulled it away just in time to see the Hurricane right winger move in on the puck and sweep past Jason. The Hurricane center was close behind and skating around me. I took a step to stop him, but my skate landed on Jason's stick. I skidded to my knees. Up the ice, the rest of our guys were too far away to catch up. Jason, he was still on the blue line, grabbing at the nylon belt which held up his hockey pants. Great. 2 guys around us swooping down on our goalie, and Jason was still undressing? The crowd's roar thundered, maybe at the breakaway on our goalie, maybe at Jason, probably at both. On my knees, I was too stunned to stand, too stunned to yell at Jason again. A couple of our guys had stopped. The referee's whistle had fallen from his mouth, and he too stared at Jason. Jason finally got the belt strap undone, pulled his belt loose. At the same time, the Hurricane winger went left to pull our goalie out of position, slid the puck across to the center, who snapped a shot into the open right side of our net. Jason rammed his pants down to his ankles. I couldn't believe it. We were down 1-0 less than 10 seconds into the game, and in the same time, my partner was down to his red long johns and his hockey socks. He didn't stop there either. He leaned over, pulled at the garters of his right sock. He tugged until the garters slipped loose. He peeled his sock down, pulled his shin pad from the sock, and by then, no one on the ice was moving. The fans were so loud, I wondered if the fillings in my teeth would shake loose, and Coach Blair was standing on top of the boards at our bench, shaking his fist at Jason. Jason had the right shin pad loose and in his hands. He straightened, threw the shin pad as far as he could. We all watched that pad sail through the air. It sailed so long, everyone at the ice rink had time to stare and wonder. It sailed so long, the crowd's roar became silence. What seemed like minutes later, the shin pad fell to the ice, almost at the other blue line, and when it landed, we understood why Jason had gone crazy. 4 or 5 cockroaches exploded from the inside of his shin pad, scurrying in all directions on the ice. Cockroaches, those big black ugly bugs so gross they make beetles look cuddly. Cockroaches, trying to find some place to hide on the ice around them. One of the Hurricane defensemen slammed a stick down, nailed 2 of them, and with the crowd still silent, we heard the crunch as the stick broke the hard shells. Bug juice sprayed like tobacco juice. Jason struggled to roll his other sock down. When he did, same result. High-flying shin pad and cockroaches scattering in all directions when it hit the ice. Just as if someone had punched the play button on music, the crowd's roar returned, louder than before, and I noticed a few cockroaches crawling near Jason's skates. These must have spilled from the inside of his hockey pants. As Jason tore at his shin pads, he stepped on one of the cockroaches, popping it like a cherry tomato. More bug goose juice sprayed, and the crowd kept roaring. Jason now had his shoulder pads off. A single cockroach dropped from the shoulder pads and landed between his skates. He threw the shoulder pads without waiting for them to land and peeled off his torn black t-shirt. I nearly lost the hamburgers I'd eaten a couple hours earlier. At least 3 cockroaches were crawling on Jason's belly, their antennas quivering in all directions. Jason looked down, saw the cockroach on him, screamed and fainted. They put him flat on his back on the ice, and he lay there as the trainer came running out from the players' bench. Those of us on the ice leaned on our sticks as we watched the trainer prop Jason into sitting position. The trainer waved smelling salts beneath Jason's nose. "McElhaney," I heard a voice say beside me. I turned my head to look into the eyes of the Hurricane Center who just scored on us. "Yeah," I shouted above the crowd. "Bad scene with these cockroaches, McElhaney," he said. He shook his head sadly from side to side. "Don't you guys ever shower?" That's the end of Chapter 1 of Rebel Glory. I'm Sigmund Brower, the author of Rebel Glory. And if you want to find out how it happened that there were so many cockroaches in Jason's hockey equipment, well, I guess you just have to read Chapter 2. And if you don't find out at the end of Chapter 2, I'm going to suggest you keep reading the book till you find out. Thanks so much for the chance to read Chapter 1 of Rebel Glory to you as part of the One Book Many Schools program.